Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to dive deep into some pressing economic issues that could reshape our financial landscape in the coming months and years. I'm going to share some insights and predictions that might seem alarming, but it's crucial we understand the potential challenges ahead. So let's get started. As we navigate through 2023, I can't help but feel a sense of unease about the state of our global financial systems. The signs are there, and they're flashing red. We're looking at increased volatility in the markets, and I believe we're on the brink of a potential black swan event, an unpredictable occurrence that could have severe consequences. This crisis, which I predict could unfold in the first half of the year, isn't coming out of nowhere. It's the result of years of fragile systems barely held together and escalating geopolitical tensions. Take, for example, the relationship between the United States and China. The ongoing trade disputes and political frictions between these two economic giants are like tremors preceding an earthquake. But it's not just about geopolitics. Our financial systems themselves are under immense strain, which brings me to my next point. Central banks around the world have been on a mission to combat inflation by raising interest rates. On the surface, this seems like a logical move. Higher interest rates can help cool down an overheating economy and bring inflation under control. But here's the catch: our global financial system is already incredibly fragile. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a house of cards and you're trying to add more cards to the top. Each additional card, or in this case, each interest rate hike, increases the risk of the entire structure collapsing. That's essentially what we're doing to our global financial system. These interest rate hikes are putting enormous pressure on an already strained system. Banks, businesses, and individuals who have grown accustomed to low interest rates are now struggling to adapt. We're seeing signs of stress in various sectors, from real estate to corporate debt. I want to be clear here, we're not just talking about a minor recession. What I foresee is nothing short of a global financial earthquake, an event that could push us to the brink of systemic collapse. It's a sobering thought, but one we need to confront head on. Now, let's talk about something that affects each and every one of us: the value of our money. Over the past few years, we've witnessed unprecedented levels of inflation across the globe. This isn't just about prices going up, it's about the fundamental devaluation of our currency systems. Think back to what you could buy with $100 a decade ago compared to what that same $100 gets you today. The difference is stark, isn't it? That's because inflation has been steadily eroding the purchasing power of our money. In fact, I'd argue that there's very little real purchasing power left in fiat currencies, the government-issued money we use every day. This devaluation isn't just a number on a chart, it's affecting real people, real families. It's the reason why, despite working just as hard or harder, many people feel like they're falling behind financially. The money they earn simply doesn't go as far as it used to. But here's where things get really interesting. We're not just dealing with inflation, we're witnessing a fundamental shift in our monetary regime. The world is transitioning from one system of money to another, and the signs are everywhere if you know where to look. One of the most telling indicators: central banks are buying gold at a rate we haven't seen since 1967. Now, why is this significant? Because gold has traditionally been seen as a safe haven, a store of value when paper currencies become unstable. The fact that central banks are stockpiling gold suggests they're preparing for a major change in our monetary system. But it's not just about going back to the gold standard. No, what I believe we're moving towards is a new digital standard. Central banks around the world are exploring or implementing central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. This isn't just a technological upgrade, it's a complete redefinition of what we consider money. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not here to give financial advice, but I do think it's crucial to understand why central banks are turning to gold and why you might want to consider it too. Throughout history, physical gold and silver have consistently held their purchasing power. While currencies have come and gone, precious metals have remained valuable across all sectors of the global economy. They're not just shiny metals, they're a form of financial insurance. When central banks buy gold, they're doing it for the same reason an individual might: to preserve purchasing power and maintain control during times of inflation and economic uncertainty. It's about having a tangible asset that isn't tied to the whims of any particular government or economic policy. One of the biggest challenges we face in times of high inflation is what I call nominal confusion. This is when people focus on the numbers, the nominal value of their money, rather than its real purchasing power. Let me give you an example. In the late 2000s, Zimbabwe experienced hyperinflation so severe that they ended up with $100 trillion notes. Imagine having $100 trillion sounds great, right? But the reality was far from it. That note couldn't even buy a loaf of bread. This extreme example illustrates a crucial point. Having a large amount of money means nothing if that money can't be converted into real value. It's not about how many zeros are on your bank statement, it's about what you can actually buy with that money. So where does all this leave us? We're facing a potential financial crisis, a shift in our monetary system, and the ongoing challenge of inflation. It's a lot to take in, and it can seem overwhelming. But knowledge is power. By understanding these trends and potential challenges, we can better prepare ourselves for what's to come, whether that means diversifying your assets, learning about new forms of currency, or simply being more mindful of your spending and saving habits. Remember, economic shifts like the ones we're discussing don't happen overnight. They unfold over months and years. By staying informed and adaptable, we can navigate these changes and potentially even find opportunities amidst the challenges. As we wrap up, I want to encourage all of you to stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to question the status quo. The financial world is changing rapidly, and it's up to us to keep up. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this information valuable, please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into our changing economic landscape. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.